Hey you guys, what's up? Welcome to my channel. Okay, so today is a little bit different as you might notice. I have Mercy in the background and typically I will not be in suit when I do dance comp videos, when I do the screen videos, because typically I won't do that because I need to be able to see every move that these people make, and when you do, I will teach you about them. Teaching today, we're going to be going over the types of dance that you can probably do in fursuit. I know I haven't done a dance video in over a month. You guys can bark at me. You guys can woo at me. Because wooing to me is not illegal. A woo altogether. But we are not going to be looking at fursuit videos because there is no fursuit video that contains these other genres. And this is why I'm about to step up the fursuit dancing game. Is because I'm going to be bringing real, not necessarily real talent, but years of experience coming out and bringing it to you guys. So I think I'm going to stir the pot of the dance community a little bit because, to be honest, if my YouTube goes viral and I start becoming a bigger YouTuber, I want you guys to know that the first few people that started my channel and kept with me, I want you guys to come see me when I do make it to cons. So definitely do that. Anyways, today we're going to be looking at some of the dance competition videos. These are types of videos that what I used to dance on, what type of stage I used to dance on, and also what type of, you know, floors, and you can see on these floors in different types of areas and different centers and different convention centers have different floors. So every time we went to competition, the floors would be different. So it's not like we know the floor and that's it. Like Anthrocon, and you know the floor of MFF now and the floor of FWA. You know, you know the same floor every year. Well, for me, when I was a kid and moving and traveling with these dance competition people in my group, we didn't know the stage at all. We had to learn the stage as we were doing the dance. So if we slipped or did anything, it was due to the floor. And I'll probably do some tips and hacks, dance hacks, and like some like cheat things I've known and learned over the years that are pretty great. So that's that. But let's get into the video. So first we're going to start off with tapping. Tapping is one of my critiques because I am a tap dancer. I used to tap. I enjoyed tapping for almost half my 10-year dance competition life. I tapped. And I'm going to make tap shoes in fursuit shoes, fursuit paws. I'm going to leave the bottom of them open. And I'll teach you how to do that stuff later on once I figure out myself, and I'll share tutorial videos on how I did those and what type of shoes I like to buy as well. So we're going to go with the top tapping. Tapping is, okay, and people also might confuse this. There's a difference between tapping and clogging. I've had a lot of people come to me and go, oh, it's the little clicky shoes. I'm like, nope, those are cloggers. Tap shoes are all the way screwed in. They don't jiggle at all. Clogging is more like folk music. Clogging is a lot more difficult to do than tap. Clogging and tapping, people think to see the same, and clogging and tapping are almost completely two different like styles of dancing. They're categorized based upon tap shoes, of course, but the genre of type of dancing is pretty much two different genres of dance. Clogging is more southern, like Irish music. You hear clogs going off a lot in like Irish like type music, or um, clogging is very different. And I'm not an expert on clogging because I never clogged. I'm just a tapper, hip hop, break dancing, and flexibility and ballet in class and shit like that. So let's go on with the video. We're gonna try, the first one would be Smooth Criminal. This center I've never heard of. I've never heard of Industry Dance Awards. Masquerade National Dance Competition. I've never heard of that. Often, most of the time, our competition and our groups would have up to almost 25 30 people on stage at one time if it's a big production. So this is tapping. It is the best thing that I can tell you to do is you have to learn how to tap in them. People ask me all the time, is it hard to tap? No, not really. You just need to learn your footwork. Now, the reason I picked these out is because you cannot hear the raw sound of the tapping in these. You can't, but you can see their feet stomping. That's a great song to dance to for tapping too, and I'll go over another video on perfect songs to dance to with these genres of type of dances. I'll go over that. Smooth Criminal is a really good one to tap to. That was a very, very good choice for the dance teacher. Tap dancing is probably one of my favorite genres. I can see that this group is pretty much well timed together. There's only a couple spots where I see people are slipping. Also, the tap shoes are not slippery. When they are first bought, they are slip. They're very slippery. When you first buy them, make sure to scruff them up a little bit on concrete or go out on concrete or some kind of hard sidewalk and scuff your shoes. As soon as you get them, stick them on and then go outside and scuff. So scuffing is just scraping your tap shoe on the floor. Scuffing, you'll go over the dance terms of tapping. You have scuffing, and you have your stomping, and you also have something that my dance teacher taught me, which was the drop my dolly move. And the drop my dolly move is, it's the way she taught me how to dance tap. It was keep your head up straight. When you dance and you slump, it's going to cut off your airways. Always make sure. Now, I know it sounds really cruel to do this, but to keep your posture up like this, my teacher used to grab the crown of our head. So she would grab like, I don't know, piece like that, but she would not be pulling on it. She would gradually, like barely, like right now, I'm barely pulling my hair and I'm standing up straight because your automatic reaction when someone pulls on something is to rise up. So when she taught us how to position ourselves, that's what she would do. She would walk around as we were dancing in one spot and remember to, she would sometimes just grab lightly and just pull up and go straighten your up, straighten up, straighten up, like hair pull, like she would say stuff and words that help us remind us, hey, keep the posture up. You know, and you have the drop my dolly. The drop my dolly was something that I was taught personally in a solo dance. And it was, I drop my dolly in the sand, I drop my dolly in the sand. So it was one of those things where it's like, so you're following the rhythm. I drop my dolly in the sand, I drop my dolly in the sand. So like you hear me beating. So it's I drop my dolly in the sand. So we would do it really, really, really slow at first. But then I would have to do it. I drop my dolly in the sand. I drop my dolly in the sand. Like it's just a phrase to help you get the move of what you're doing. And oftentimes that's what my teacher would do for me. And if I were to go in and do panels of dance teaching, if you guys would like me to do panels at Con for dance teaching, you know, I would be absolutely honored, you know, to do a panel on dancing and have some of the dancers and stuff like this and everything. I'd love to do it, and I want to continue to do this channel for dance and also other subjects of the furry fandom. You know, which is why I have it as Wreak Havoc, as not as in Wreak Havoc Studios. So in the case, tap dancing is probably one of my absolute favorites. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be able to hear the tapping sound even better through the cups tap dance. Listen to this and hear the raw sound of how they tap. Watch how his feet is. Now you hear the raw tap. On a hardwood floor, it's pretty. Yes, there are high heel shoes for it. Isn't that cool how like you can layer the tap sounds? They're layering the tap sounds, which is really nice. So these are just examples of how people tap. And tapping is, it's easy, but as you can see that like it looks like their feet aren't moving very much. And it's all in your feet. So for example, as for an example, I can't really do this right now. However, I could probably slide this probably down to the floor if you guys want me to real quick. I'll give you guys a decent example on how things go. So, you're only seeing my feet at this time because I want you to see my feet. My feet, so what they're doing is, as I said in the earlier times, drop my dolly. I dropped, so scuff, heel. Scuff, heel, put your tap up, scuff back, here. And I know it sounds really complicated, but watch how I do it without the teaching. I drop my dolly in the sand, I drop my dolly in the sand, I drop my dolly in the sand. Now, obviously, you can't hear the tapping because I don't have tap shoes on, but you can see how I drop my dolly in the sand. It's all about your toes and your heels. Your heels and your toes. Scuff, drop. Heel, drop. Click. So scuff, click, heel, scuff, click, heel, and then you repeat that. I drop my dolly. But see, as you go scuff, switch. So scuff, switch. So scuff. So you're scuffing and you're switching. So you're scuffing. All right, and I'll do it one time slowly for you. See? It's pretty easy, don't you think? Now, in that case, you see that, and that's what tapping is. Tapping, now, obviously, when I get my tap shoes again, because I had to get rid of my old ones, I don't have a pair currently. So, you guys want to hear more? This is all about tapping. Tapping is great, and honestly, when I get around to it, I'm going to be definitely making tap shoes. I hope some of this stuff was a very good info for you, and if you really want to, I'll do another video on hacks. Next one, probably going to be jazz or hip hop. Who knows, depending on which one I like to do. I did tapping because tapping's my favorite, but tapping is here. All right, see you guys. Bye-bye.